we have a fifth line day. Today is the 39, line 5, the gate of provocation, and the line is called single-mindedness. Usually single-mindedness is a keynote that's associated with the fourth lines. But here, of course, we're in the fifth, and you might have noticed as we're going through this journey that this occasionally does crop up. We'll get a line name and you think, that really is it. We had investigation as part of it wasn't a first line, but it was the fourth line. It was in the 38 4 we looked at yesterday. And some of these things, they crop up. So everything sort of interchangeable, but it has its own level of nuance, doesn't it? So we have a lifetime learning here, and it is the rare ability not to overcome, but to bypass obstacles. These are individuals. They only follow their own rules, and this is the fifth line. They are the general. They have that inbuilt authority to do that, as long as they can bring something practical when they are given the control to do so. They can change the rules. And this is individuality, so it's a mutative force. And so when that fifth line is called out to provoke, it's like, we need you to provoke somebody. We need you to deliver whatever provocation is needed. We need you to save us through your provocation. That's the moment that they can change the rules. And that's the moment that they do it their way. They can't do it any other way, of course, but this is almost like it's permission for them to do so. In the exaltation, we have the imagination to establish new patterns that make the obstacles irrelevant. The imaginative energy to provoke through bypassing obstacles. This is real mutation. It can only be done when you can bypass obstacles practically. You can go around them. And also knowing that going around them is not for you alone, that others may be able to follow in your footsteps. This is how mutation works. And in the detriment, we have simple hard-headedness. Though less exalted, it can often result in success and gather support by its very determination. The energy to provoke through hard-headedness. So these are people who are very unusual in the way in which they can provoke the spirit. But again, they're projected on all the time. And because of that, they really have to be ready. Anybody who carries this fifth line is projected on that they can be very provocative. And due to that projection, they don't actually have to provoke very much because people get out of their way unless they're actually looking for a fight. So people kind of get involved. No, they avoid getting involved at any kind of level that might be difficult with a 39-5. They're not looking for a fight. There is nobody to be provoked in that sense, really, because people are just going in the opposite direction. It's like, well, here they come again. I don't want to be provoked, even though they haven't done anything. So they don't actually get the chance because these people actually rarely find the right spirit even. The 39 provokes to find the spirit. That's its true nature. And that's the first line. We found that there in disengagement. The fifth line is how everybody else sees this hexagram, and how everybody else sees it, quite frankly, is a bit wrong, really. What they see is that provocation should not be necessary and is something to be avoided, because that's what this fifth line is saying. And yet, if provocation is avoided, no spirit can be found. These people are projected on that they're single-minded, that they are the ones who can get it done. They do not run into any problems because they do not get the constant provocation, because other people are really aware of this capacity in them. And the 38, line 5, is called alienation. This is a stage in opposition where one is totally isolated. The single-mindedness of the 39-5 can be isolated and feel alienated, but there is an endurance in the 38 that can support and ground the 39 in its provocative purpose. The moon is still in gate 12, the throat gate, and moves into gate 15 at 1842. This is the gate of extremes in the G center. It's the love of humanity or not. It's the quality of behavior which expresses the proper balance between extremes. This is the gate of the aura. It's a highly magnetic gate with an innate sense of individual rhythm that enables the acceptance of others' rhythms and timings, even if they are extreme. And then we move into gate 52 at 4:49 tomorrow morning. And this is the root center gate of stillness with a temporary and self-imposed inaction for the benefit of assessment. This is keeping still mountain. There can be the ability to still the physical body and the senses, and to use the power to concentrate on what is really worthwhile to dedicate our energy toward. There can be a restlessness when there is nothing to focus our energy on, and that can be a signal that it is time to draw back into stillness again. That is our fifth line in the 39.5, and thank you very much for joining me today. And I will see you again for our sixth line, the top of the hexagram, for the end of this particular gate. I will see you tomorrow, and until then, go gently.